Hello everyone. Today I'm very glad to be bringing you a video that combines two of my favorite things, old Sierra adventures and the Apple IIgs. Some time ago, actually it was quite a while ago, I think about a couple of years ago, I did a video like this for the first three King's Quest games, highlighting the music that was featured in the first three King's Quest games that was only on the Apple IIgs, that you didn't hear in any other version of any of those games. And I've been meaning to do the same thing for Space Quest, I just really haven't gotten around to it until now, so here we go. I'm starting off obviously with the first Space Quest game, and a little warning ahead of time, this is kind of lame. The very first Space Quest game really had very little in the way of interesting music or sound effects. It was mostly just, it was really just kind of a test game that Sierra made to see if, I guess, if they could sell a science fiction adventure. In fact, very few people seem to know this, but the first Space Quest game is basically a ripoff of Planetfall. I shouldn't say a ripoff, it had some of its own original elements, but a lot of things in Space Quest 1 are directly borrowed from Planetfall, the text adventure. I kind of liken it to how the first Leisure Suit Larry game was a graphical adventure conversion of a text adventure called Soft Porn. Those of you familiar with Leisure Suit Larry probably know about that. But a lot less people seem to know that Space Quest 1 was obviously very heavily inspired by Planetfall. If you've never played Planetfall, go ahead and play it and you'll see right away what I mean. Anyway, without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let me go ahead and start the game with the usual load Protoss from slot number 5 command. So there you go, that's the opening theme of the game, and it obviously just repeats after that. It's just a loop. So I'll go ahead and skip all this. Oh yes, in the first two games you can name yourself. Let's go ahead and I'll just be Light Blight, why not? Alright, so the opening theme was alright, you know, probably nothing too spectacular, nothing to write home about, but get a load of this, get a load of what you hear after, after the game starts. Actually, I'm going to slow down the game just a little bit. There you go. As far as I know, that is exclusive to this version of the game. The little synthesized voice saying, battle stations, that is something you don't get in any other version of the game. I must admit, I do very much like the sounds of doors opening and closing in this version of the game. That's the door open sound. That's the door close sound. And all the other doors on the Arcada make that same sound. It's kind of cool, kind of snappy. So I'm pretty much primarily going to be reviewing just the sound effects in this video because there's not really much in the way of music other than that opening theme that we just heard and then the 3 tunes that you can get in the bar at Yulin's Flats. That's it. Everything else is just sound effects, and most of them aren't that spectacular, but I'll go through them just for completeness sake. For example, what I'm about to play for you is the sound of the bay doors opening, which sounds like this. Nothing too spectacular, is it? But hey, you know, I'm taking what I can get. Let me also play the sound of Roger getting shot by a Sarian, if I can find a Sarian to shoot him. Of course, it figures when you want one, there isn't one around. Doesn't that just figure? I think usually there's one over here when you come into this room. No? Look, 4 times out of 5 there's usually a Sarian that shows up in this room when I'm trying to go through here, but now, oh, here we go. Come on. How long does it take for the Sarian to show up? Holy smokes. Is that because the emulator is too fast, maybe? Oh, come on, that's ridiculous. Okay, I don't know. It's not that spectacular. Forget it. I don't know why the Sarian's not showing up, but never mind. Let's see, what else? What else was I going to do? Oh yeah, the sounds of the escape pod. So if you're here and you're in the escape pod and you go inside, of course you want to... well, let me play the sound of the power coming on. This is kind of interesting. Doesn't really sound like a pod powering up to me, but what do I know? I think all the other sounds are pretty much the same. They're really not very... they're sounds that we've already heard before. This game recycles a lot of the same sound effects. So let's just skip that and go straight to... let's go to the surface of Kirona, where the spider droid is chasing us. That little boom, 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 boom sound. That's the sound the spider droid makes. Yeah, nothing too spectacular. The explosion is also rather underwhelming, but there you go. While I'm here, let me also play the sound of Roger falling off that cliff up there. Actually, I probably should have saved a game a little closer to the point where we can actually fall off, but yeah, of course there's the rock up there that you can push on the spider droid, but I'm not going to show that off because it makes exactly the same explosion sound effect as we just heard when Roger gets blown up by the droid. But you can fall off here, which I guess is something. And the rock, if you push the rock down, it makes exactly that same sound effect. That's this game's falling sound. Moving on, let's go to where we can run into Orat. And let me slow down the game just a touch, and let's first see what Orat is like if you just kind of be friendly and go and walk up to him and try to shake his hand. The emulator actually emulates wonderful floppy disk loading speeds when you slow it down. What have we here? Alright, so that's the sound of Orat bouncing Roger. And let's see, do I have the water? Oh no, I need to open the kit. There we go, now I got the water. So let's do the sound of Orat blowing up, because that's always fun. I think that might be exactly the same sound as the spider droid blowing up as well. Whatever. You can see these sound effects aren't too terribly imaginative. That's why I kind of warned you in advance. They're a little bit underwhelming. One sound effect that I did think was kind of cool was this. This is the that acid drip. See that little acid drop falling into that pool there? I thought that sounds kind of cool. And here, of course, we have these lasers. Let's see, what else? Oh, here's something that is actually pretty cool. This Kironian alien here talking. It's a little quiet, so you might want to turn up your sound, but it's kind of a cool sound. It's like a little synthesized voice mumbling. So there you go. And if you get into this area beyond this alien head, boy, the sound of those pistons clacking is pretty oppressive. Yikes. I'm sorry, those pistons are just annoying. Let's get out of here. I'm not going to play this whole sequence because it sucks, but I'll play just the sounds of the skimmer and it hitting a rock. There you go. That's the spectacular sound of the skimmer hitting a rock. And there's another one. Alright, enough of that. Let's go ahead and, let's see, where are we at? Let me go ahead and, actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and stop this video here, even though I've obviously got some more time. I know about the YouTube 10 or 15-minute limit, but let's go ahead and just stop here, because in the next video we'll finally get to Yulin's Flats and we'll get to play some of that bar music. It's not the greatest music in the world, so don't expect too terribly much, but it'll be fun. It'll be a little bit more impressive than the sound effects I've been playing here, I hope. So that's all for now, and I will stop here and see you folks later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and bye for now.